morning, tie-dye family. Today I have a white skirt from Dharma. It has been washed, spun out, placed in soda ash, spun out again. Now it's ready for folding. In the recent past, I have created some red, white, and blue vertically striped tops. And I'm going to vertically stripe this skirt. As you can see, the bottom isn't quite even, so my fold right in the center is a little larger. That may happen all the way through. There's a little bit more material right here in the middle. And too much material came forward that time, so scoot a little bit back. Continue making my pleats. When I pick up a pleat, I'm being very cautious to make sure I pick up the front and the back piece of material, not just the front piece. That can really mess up your design. And I do want this to be nice so I can wear it as a special outfit. My dad was a Navy man. Our family does have a bit of history when it comes to service. If proper dye placement on horizontal pleats like this will give you vertical stripes. I'm a rather large person. I don't go for horizontal stripes. But I do love good art. It's allergy season in my state, and I do have problems with that, so I am congested. But not sick. Praise the Lord. Notice I'm keeping the wrinkles out of the dress that I'm pulling, the skirt that I'm pulling towards me. Very important, of course, to keep your pleats even and your wrinkles out. Notice that we're starting to go in now towards the waist area. We still work to keep as much straightness and evenness in our folds as possible. It becomes a little more challenging as you get closer to the waist. You know, I call folds pleats all the time. And the reason I do that is because I was raised with a mama who sewed. She taught me how to sew. And so when you make a fold in fabric, it's a pleat. I know, not in tie-dye land. It's hard for me to remember that sometimes. Until I'm old school. Notice that I keep pinching my pleats together. It helps them stay nicely folded so that they don't come undone before I can get them wrapped. Work on keeping the wrinkles out as you fold the waist in. It becomes more difficult. couple more pleats or folds, and I'm going to have my waistline into the project. Sure makes it difficult to do a straight fold when you've got gathers, but we do the best we can, and hopefully it will come out well. Notice I'm continuing to fold in the material. My folded skirt. I'm going to dye this with diagonal red, white, and blue stripes. Alright, I like these little tiny rubber bands for small ends like this one. Makes it nice. So I'm going to get all my rubber bands in place. Then I have dye ready to go on. Remember, the most important thing is not to buckle your folds when you are putting on your rubber bands. So, that means big ones where you have large projects and smaller ones where you don't. I really like Tulip's rubber bands. It's one of the few things I like about the product. And I try to put them on at fairly even intervals so that my pattern comes out nicely when I go to dye. Tying up both ends at the same time towards the center, keeping everything in folded. Yeah, this is a Tulip rubber band. It comes in their kits. It's a pretty strong rubber band if it's never been used before. However, after much use, this one's ready to go in the trash. I have some Tulip rubber bands that I have used in hot water or in tie-dye on the microwave. And when you heat that rubber band, it sure messes it up. Down to one. Alright, here's what the skirt looks like. Banded and ready to dye. White in a tie-dye garment is probably the most difficult thing that I struggled with when I first began. So I'm going to mark out my pattern and put my white on. This is sodium alginate, a teaspoon in a cup of boiling hot water, dissolved with my emulsifier. It's going to go on in my white to block the color from the other spaces. For this project, I am using Fire Red from Dharma and Navy Blue from Dharma, and the sodium alginate. Alright, so I have my pattern marked. Notice that I left the white spaces white just in case all of my washable marker didn't come out. Next, I'm actually going to put my sodium alginate, or my white, in every spot that I want to keep white. And I'm going to do that on both sides of the garment before I ever do anything else. Kind of thick. You have to put quite a bit on because it has to go down inside also. You'll have to work it down inside the folds to make sure that color doesn't go where it's not supposed to. So I have sodium alginate in the white spots. I'm trying to get that down in the pleats so that I can have white. Sodium alginate, trying to get it down in the folds so this part stays white. I'm going to do this on both sides of the garment before I ever put any color to it. It took me so long to get white, guys. It was so hard. I'm going to flip the garment over and do the same thing on the other side. Now that I have my white on in all the spaces I wanted that, I'm going to begin applying dye. And I'm going to start down here with the red. And I'm going to try really hard not to over apply or over saturate on this first round of dye. Alright, every place that I have an R, I'm going to go ahead and put my red. Still trying not to oversaturate the first time around. I have found that these skirts dye really easily from Dharma. They don't take a whole lot of color to get a good coverage. Notice I'm putting more on here. The folds are much thicker here. And then this is the beginning of the waistband, so it needs to be covered. Go in, follow with my blue on the spots marked with the B. I just got blue on my white. Ugh! My sisters all say I'm my own worst critic. I do like it when they come out nice, and I don't like it when it spurts like that. Phooey. See that blue dot? Not supposed to be there. Yeah. I know. Be more careful when you turn your bottle over, Grace. First round of dye on. Turn it over. And do the other side. Notice I have some color showing through. That means I already have some saturation from the first round of dyeing. So I have to go over lightly then this side. vertical stripe, red, white, and blue dyed skirt. After a couple of days of batching, I'll be back with results.